Hello, I'm Chipom Sengezi, and I'm the project manager for the Enabling Data Access Phase 3 project, which was commissioned to deliver what we're calling the Fair Process Framework. This framework will enable you as an active program officer and your grantees to embed fair data principles in investments. This is a second video which I'm making, which will give you some examples of how CABI has already worked with the foundation program officers and staff within peer organizations that are also applying fair principles to their investments. And I will also give you an overview of how you will engage with us and the tools, resources, and processes that we will bring to you. We really hope you will take up this call for interest to help embed fair in your investments. So CABI is looking for program officers who may be interested in getting some support and technical assistance in how they are planning and preparing for ensuring that assets could be findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable at the end of the investment. And what CABI will provide is initially an expert review, right? What we're calling expert review, but in essence, it is an assessment of the potential risks and the potential barriers that could emerge from your investment concept or an investment that's already in implementation stage. So this would allow us and give us a platform to test our suite of tools and resources with you, with hand holding and guidance and mentorship. And at the same time, we get to improve and embed good data management practices within the investment. So the following few slides sort of give examples where we've been testing our tools and our resources, as well as the cases that have helped us solidify this as a fair process framework. Within DFS, we've worked on the image investment, where we looked to understand some of the aspirations in terms of which assets would need to be made fair. And working together with the program officer and the grantee, we were able to develop a set of templates for the grantee to use to develop a data management plan, a data governance framework, and a data sharing policy. We were also able to review their data sharing agreements that were currently in existence and provide advice on how they could be improved to make sure they were robust. And we provided guidance and a template for this as well. For the CGR, we were called in to support their revision of their open access policy, making it fair intentional and helping to look at what were the institutional issues that potentially were inhibiting people from implementing the policy. These projects has led to us developing the FAIR framework. This is an example from a project called Gaia, where the partners within the project themselves, before the data has even been shared externally, they can already see the benefits of being able to know what the project is producing. You'll find, especially in projects where they are multi-country and have several work packages, it's often not visible what partners are working on. So by bringing fair elements into the project, partners are able to share data amongst themselves. We've worked in Ethiopia, and I'm sure the news has gone around about how the ministry has made a directive for soil and agronomy data sharing. And this is pleasing news. There was work that went into supporting the development of what was initially thought to be a policy, but now is a ministerial directive. So we needed to understand the players, the actors within the ecosystem in Ethiopia for soil and agronomy. They form what is called the Coalition of the Willing, and working with them, we co-developed together. Instead of prescribing a policy, we worked together to co-develop this policy that now has gone on to be ratified by the government. And then from all that we've been learning, new donors also are becoming interested in how they can improve on their own data strategies, like the ACRR in Australia. We've been able to work with them, with their research program managers. We did a landscape activity to understand how FAIR is being implemented, and they made recommendations for improvements, and that has led on to another phase of now us helping them develop a FAIR data strategy for the soil and agronomy unit of ACIR. So a lot of our work is proving to be reusable. It's adaptable, and because it's co-created with the stakeholders, with the grantees, with the partners, it is something that is being adopted and is proving to be useful. So all investments will undergo this expert review. The expert review will allow us to gain some comprehensive insights into your specific requirements in terms of your aspiration for data within the investment. It will help us to evaluate it, like I said, for the risks and the issues, and it will allow us to help promote fair considerations at the same time, while we actively seek feedback on how usable these tools and resources are from both yourself and the grantee. And in that process, we aim to be building your capacity and your confidence in the common typical data issues that emerge. Now, as the investment progresses, you might find that you require more support to be able to implement the recommendations that we are making, or it might be that your investment is a complex investment with a lot of data issues that potentially could emerge. That may require now more in-depth technical assistance, and we continue the relationship. You might be asking, what are the tools and resources that will help me as a program officer and my grantee implement FAIR in the investment? The tools we will propose and recommend really depend on the stage of the investment and the problems that need to be solved. For example, to kickstart, we provide a tool called the FAIR Data Tracker, which will help identify appropriate interventions to making the data fair. Essentially, it helps the PO and the grantee identify the level of systems intervention needed within the investment. It also helps to establish the intention of implementing good data practices within the investment. So essentially, it helps start that conversation between yourself, the program officer, and the grantee to drive intentionality around FAIR data and embedding it into the investment. Other tools are available, including data management plan templates, data sharing agreement templates, data maturity assessment tools, and a host of other tools. We will obviously provide the tools based on our understanding of the investment after conducting an expert review. So this is an example of a tool that we use to explain that data falls on a spectrum from closed to open. There may be concerns, for example, about farmer data being made open. Some may be confusing commercial, personal data, mixing up what's big data versus open data. And so this tool allows us to unpack data challenges and the benefits. And it allows us to be precise about what the terminologies mean. It gives us a way to be very clear and make everybody familiar so that we can have, informed conversations about how to use them, how they affect us, and how to plan for the future. So, if you're interested in benefiting from expert support in embedding good data practice within your investment, please get in touch with us. The engagement will be led by my colleague Arun, who will meet with you and discuss your investment and the support we'll provide. To get in touch, just send an email expressing interest to fair@cabi.org. Also, please keep in copy Jessica Cagley, Senior Officer for Strategy and Impact. And in conclusion, these are my colleagues. with whom you would be working with. They would be the ones you engage with periodically as they provide you the technical assistance.